coverage you can count on. This is 18 Eyewitness News.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fred Dawkins, and here are the top stories we're working on for you this hour. State Representative Steve Cookson wants to put schools' focus on teaching and not social engineering. Toward that end, the fair-dealing Republican filed House Bill 2051, which would restrict any discussion of sexual orientation to scientific instruction concerning human reproduction. Cookson says he just wants schools to get back to basics and let social issues be dealt with by the family or other institutions.
Schools have been used for social engineering, and to use our children to engineer our society. I have some real reservations about that, serious reservations about that. And I think that the people that need to be talking about certain subjects should be the parent and the family, and other social institutions that occur outside the school setting.
Cookson says he's also come under fire for sponsoring the bill, mainly from outside Missouri.
I have received hundreds, if not thousands, emails from all across the globe. As far away as Germany and Europe, and several all over the United States, Florida, New Jersey, and New York, California, and Texas, and they're basically, most of those are put out by certain groups with a political agenda that have spun this legislation to mean things that it does not say.
Cookson doesn't come to the issue as an outsider. He has an extensive background in education, serving as principal in Norwood, East Carter, Naylor, and Donovan, and then 10 years as the superintendent of the Naylor schools. Well, now Dustin Kopp is here with our forecast. Looks like we're going to be turning on and off the rain this weekend.
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures are currently in the 60s, 62 up in Festus, as well as in St. Genevieve. Cape Girardeau warmer at 68, 72 down in Poplar Bluff, and 69 right now in Van Buren. This evening, temperatures are going to fall back into the lower 60s, even in the 50s. 63 with thunderstorms possible at 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 63. Showers, thunderstorms continue, and then by midnight, we're dropping down to 60 degrees. What's in store for your weekend? I'll give you all those details coming up later in weather.
Reynolds County authorities are continuing to investigate an early Wednesday morning homicide. The Sheriff's Office of Reynolds County received a 911 call from a home just off County Road 336 in Redford when shots were heard fired. When Sheriff Tom Vollner and a deputy arrived, they found Tom Espy dead from a gunshot wound inside the home. Now, the sheriff says they're looking for a number of leads with only a few homes near Espy's house. Authorities are asking for the public's help. Anyone traveling on Highway K between Annapolis and Highway O in Redford Wednesday morning between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. and saw anything suspicious is asked to contact the Reynolds County Sheriff's Office. A Greenville man will now have his case heard in Iron County. Floyd Duncan Sr. was granted a change of venue motion in proceedings on Wednesday in Wayne County Circuit Court. Now, Duncan is facing charges of assault in the first degree and armed criminal action. According to the probable cause statement, he's accused of stabbing a man repeatedly with a large knife. If convicted, Duncan could receive a prison sentence of 10 to 30 years. He'll make his first court appearance in Iron County May the 10th before Judge Sanborn Ball. You may have noticed 2 new Farmington police cars are completely different from the rest of the fleet. Administrator Greg Beaver says the city was forced to find a new vehicle style because Ford stopped making the Crown Victoria. After looking at their options, the city of Farmington bought 2 Chevrolet Tahoes. Beaver says the vehicles were in the same price range as the Crown Vics, about $23,000 apiece. However, the Tahoe has a fuel savings design.
Actually better gas mileage, than the Crown Vics did, because they have 4 cylinders or 8 cylinders, but they operate on 4 most of the time, unless you really need the speed. Then the 8 cylinders engage. And the city of Leadington recently bought one last year. They reported to us the gas mileage they get is better than we get out of our fleet of Crown Vics.
Beaver says the city's Crown Vics typically get about 8 to 9 miles a gallon, while cities using the Tahoes as a police vehicle are seeing 13 to 14 miles per gallon. Over the past few days, we've taken a look at U.S. Tool Group from their start to their growth as a world-class company. So what does the future hold for U.S. Tool? Next year, U.S. Tool will be moving from the combined 150,000 square feet building in Deloge to the former Little Tykes facility in Farmington with 250,000 square feet. U.S. Tool President Bruce Williams says at first he wondered if the company needed all that space.
As we started laying out our processes the way we really wanted them, putting aisle space in where we can actually move product up and down and have a fork truck actually have access to the machinery and so on, and move the equipment, give a little more space for our employees to work more effectively. We've suddenly realized that the Little Tykes building really isn't too ridiculous, too ridiculously large. And when we move in, we'll have about 25 to 30% extra space for expansion, and that's what we need.
Williams says U.S. Tool's continued growth will be based on the foundation started more than 55 years ago, with bold, innovative, customer-focused solutions brought together by its people.
Our employees are very skilled, they're cooperative and work hard together, and they work well as a team. And that has distanced us from a lot of our competitors and allowed us to get work that we might not have gotten before, because our customers are happy with us. They see the skills and the capabilities we bring, and they want that. And we've been able to get work from other companies, and as long, I always tell our employees, as long as we continue to cooperate and work well together, we will continue to prosper.
U.S. Tool Group President Bruce Williams. The second annual Downtown Pound steps off Saturday morning at 8:30 in Farmington. The event kicks off the spring sale and garden show. Event organizer Mark Cook says fun and run is right where you would expect it to be.
The starting point is right behind Ozark Federal, and the route is you go out and then over by the middle school, do the loop around the middle school over there, and then come back. This year, that's right at a 5K. This year, we're doing a 5K and the 10K.
Cook says both races will be timed, but folks who just want to walk or even bring their children and their wagons are welcome to join in. Downtown Farmington's spring sale and garden shows vendors' booths, sidewalk sales, entertainment, and children's areas will open Saturday morning at 9. If you're looking for more than just a back-to-nature hike on Saturday, St. Joe State Park has just the adventure for you. Naturalist Mark Hodges will be leading a 6-hour hike through different areas of the park.
They'll be seeing, the natural beauty of the wooded area. They'll be seeing Harris Creek Branch, which is a small seasonal clear water creek, which leaves the park and runs into Flat River Creek in Park Hills. But we'll be wading about a half-a-mile stretch of that, and they'll be getting a little bit more of an intimate look at the park than a lot of visitors do.
The hike is free of charge and gets underway Saturday morning at 9. Hikers should bring a lunch, drinking water, and old tennis shoes for wading in the creek. To register, you can call Mark at the St. Joe State Park, 431-6226. Well, this is Spring Clean Saturday in Ripley County. Betty Roberts of the Chamber of Commerce in Ripley County says the drop-off point in Donovan will be near the soccer fields on Jefferson Street.
We have from 9 to 12, there will be a white goods trailer in town by the soccer fields, and there will be a large dumpster for larger items that cannot be taken off in the white goods trailer.
Roberts says the Ripley County Sheltered Workshop will also be recycling newspapers, magazines, and catalogs, as well as shredding personal papers. That'll happen from 9 until noon as well. Senior citizens can arrange to have white goods picked up by calling 776-3071.
Now, here's your Storm Tracker 18 weather forecast with Chief Weathercaster Dustin Kopp.
And welcome back. Showers and thunderstorms are going to continue off and on for the next several days. The weekend continues to look wet, and temperatures are going to be warm on Saturday, however, cooler on Sunday. Here in southeast Missouri, temperatures are in the 60s and even some 70s out there. 68 right now in Cape Girardeau, 72 in Poplar Bluff, 69 in Van Buren, and Potosi right now at 63. Here at the station, we have a current temperature of 63 degrees. There are some thunderstorms out there. Current dew point at 47 with humidity at 54% and an east-southwest wind at 13 miles per hour. What's in store for your day on Saturday? Well, it's looking like this. Again, another chance of some thunderstorms through southeast Missouri. A better chance up through the Great Lakes, but we could see those drop down in our area for your day on Saturday. So for tonight, we do have a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Low of 59, southeast wind 10 to 15, 56 in St. Genevieve and Fredericktown, 60 in Piedmont, 57 in Ironton, and 53 in Festus. For a look at your forecast on Saturday, we're going to see another chance of some thunderstorms. It's going to be off and on throughout the day. Better chance towards the Great Lakes. However, we're going to see a high of 79 degrees, southwest wind 5 to 10, 73 up in Festus, 74 in St. Genevieve, and close to 80 in Poplar Bluff. A look at our extended forecast for the next several days. On Saturday, again, 79, 61, much cooler on Sunday with showers and thunderstorms. Those showers and thunderstorms possible for Monday and Tuesday. High 72 on Monday, 79 on Tuesday, and then another chance of some sunshine on Wednesday with a high of 83. In the lower 80s Thursday and Friday with showers and thunderstorms likely. And another look at our weekend forecast here in southeast Missouri. Chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, 79 on your Saturday, 61 with another chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. That's check of your Storm Tracker weather forecast. More details are located at froggy96online.com. Just click on the weather tab. Fred.
This is Sports Zone, only on 18 Eyewitness News with Jeremy Martin.
After dropping their first series since last September, the St. Louis Cardinals return to Busch Stadium tonight to face the National League's central rival Milwaukee Brewers. The Cardinals defeated the Brewers during last season's NLCS as the club headed to an 11th World Series championship. They also took a series earlier this month in Milwaukee. Jake Westbrook will be on the mound tonight for the Redbirds. He'll be opposed by Yovani Gallardo. After the Brewers, the Pittsburgh Pirates arrive at Busch Stadium to complete the 6-game homestand. Fans waited longer than expected for the Rams to miss the top 2 wide receivers in the draft and instead take defensive tackle Michael Brockers of LSU with the 14th pick. At 6'5", 322 pounds, Brockers will take up lots of space on the defensive line. Just a sophomore, NFLDraftsOut.com calls Brockers young and unpolished with a large frame and intriguing skills for an impact run stuffer. But Coach Jeff Fisher calls him explosive and instinctive. Quote, "There's so much ahead of him. He's going to develop into a fine player. He's what you want in a defensive tackle," end quote. Just 21 years old, Brockers started all 14 games at left defensive tackle for LSU in 2011. He had 54 tackles, 2 sacks, and 10 stops for a loss. And Blues goalie Yaroslav Halak will miss at least the first 2 games of the Blues' second-round series with the Los Angeles Kings, and the team is not committing to anything after that. Halak had tested his injured left ankle late last week, a development coach Ken Hitchcock characterized as a first step. But Halak was not on the ice the next day when the entire team practiced. Halak is out of the boots he had been wearing in the days after he was knocked over by teammate Barrett Jackman in Game 2. Brian Elliott has been outstanding as the top keeper since then, leaving little cause to rush Halak back. Hitchcock also said that he would stick with the lineup he used in Game 5 against the Sharks for Game 1 against the Kings, which is set for Saturday evening at the Scott Trade Center. And that's a look at sports. We'll be back with today's Your Life segment right after this on 18 Eyewitness News.
I really enjoyed Dr. Bill Meyer's story on children and the classic toys and things like that. And being the senior member here of the broadcast team, it's fun for me to kind of relive the days of yesterday when we had a lot of the older toys. One of my favorites, and I don't know if you're not as old as I am, of course, but you've probably heard of the Rockin' Sockin' Robots. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Yep. My cousin had one when we were younger, and we used to play all the time.
And I tell you what, I just enjoy that. And the Slinkies, I remember those as a kid. You know, they were fun to play with. So
I understand where you're coming from. I felt kind of stupid yesterday. We were up in the city and stopped at Babies R Us, and I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. My wife goes, well, that's a glowworm. I'm like, what's a glowworm? And she goes, you didn't have one when you were a kid? I was like, no. She goes, man, you were a sheltered kid, weren't you?
Oh, my goodness.
Like, so we had to buy one for our daughter, and, so she's enjoying that. But
well, now you can play with it and find out what you missed.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking about missing, are we going to miss any of the rain this weekend, or what's going to happen?
It's going to be kind of choppy out there as far as in trying to miss the rain. It's going to be off and on for the next several days here in southeast Missouri. The weekend, it's going to be off and on, and pretty much just enjoy the rainfall. That's all I can say. All
right, folks, thank you for joining us tonight for 18 Eyewitness News. We'll see you later on with more, and then tomorrow morning for our early morning edition at 6 a.m. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. God bless you.
Have a good night, everybody. Newswatch is next.